Welcome to the Commander Smiths.
We are the Commander Smiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
This is episode 337 and the episode that almost didn't happen because my power went out and it was out and I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to cut up proxies because I don't think this shit's going to happen because of freaking... I think because of all the rain. Did you guys get storms? You got more rain, right?
Oh, yeah.
You got storms.
Yeah, we got a lot of rain.
Yeah.
But nothing crazy like your power going out and stuff like that.
The thing is, it wasn't like a lightning bolt hit it or anything. It just was a transformer thing that somebody posted on the Facebook thing saying they saw it explode or catch on fire and then explode, and then somebody else is like,
that's wild,
that was in my backyard, there's police and fire trucks here now, blah blah blah. I was like, well, this probably isn't happening tonight, but they do a good job and get that shit up. It was up within like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. So but yeah, episode 337. What are we doing today, Lowry? We kind of this was we didn't know what we were doing up until we were doing it, basically.
We're gonna be talking about maybe it's preference on how to acquire cards. Is it cracking packs? Is it buying singles? I mean, I'd even toss in trading.
That's a good point.
So
yeah.
But that's kind of gonna be the discussion, and then we also have Stump the Smith Savant tonight.
Yes, and we have actually our donator for the Ragavan. So remember, if we get to level 3, Ragavan is up for grabs. We're not at level 3. We're still at level 2.
He doesn't have the chance to win his card back.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately.
But he does have a chance to get this just came in today as the Black Market Connections, the foil etched from the Assassin's Creed. So he has that or the Gaia's Cradle. Or not, or both of them are up for grabs.
Yes.
So Tommy Olson is our stumper for tonight. And then let's see. That would make it, if he doesn't stump you, we need one more week. One more week, because then it goes week 6, and then we get one more. And then Ragavan would be in play. So, so that's pretty much it. Just a little quick note. Next week's podcast is not going to be on Monday. It'll be either on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. Gonna shoot for Wednesday because I just thought about it. I was like, oh shit, I have volleyball and it's playoffs and I have no idea.
Let's just do Friday. Let's just do Friday.
Well, yeah, it just depends on. Yeah, I guess
because I plan on doing Mr. Foxglove deck building next Monday. So if you just like that time slot and that works for you, come join me and help me build a deck, and then we'll record on Friday.
There we go.
I think that sounds good.
So yeah, if you normally tune in for this Monday spot, the people that are on right now, Miss Paul and Renshai that are on, Lowry will be on about this time next week. Speaking of new decks, we got to play games. I got to play my freaking Aflac deck. Aslask.
That did well.
Yeah, it was fun. It never won. But it was fun. I liked it. And I don't know if it needs a lot of tweaks with stuff. I will say, you're going to like this. The only time I used the Annihilator ability was against you. And I want to say...
The 6 of them? Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say after like playing on Saturday, I think you follow the Kill the Smiths more than anybody else.
Probably.
Like I was thinking about, I was like, I don't like being in games with Lowry because it's like Lowry gets up and he's like, all right, who's my target? Well, I mean, you did this and this. Adam. Like you have all these other reasons, and they go Adam. Like you'll even like try to like weigh it out. Like, hey, you did this to me and stuff, and then you're like, I'm still attacking Adam. Like, you motherfucker. And I will give you this though. It's not. You don't necessarily kill me. We've talked about this before. We've talked about on cast, off cast. You get me down to a level where you're like, okay, he's manageable, that I can just swing in once or twice and kill him. I know what you're doing, but it's always my shit. And so the one game I got frustrated, you attacked me, and then you had the secondary attack, and I was just like, fuck it, I'll kill myself. And you're like, what? You're not gonna block anything? You can survive. I was like, no, I'm dead. I am now dead to Galta from Tad. And so it's just like,
But Tad already left you alive, and you were just like,
no, I hit him though that last turn, so that's why I was like, I'm his target.
You would have been fine.
So, but I was.
You would have been
I'm
fine.
not gonna lie.
You were at like 8. I doubt he would care about what you're doing.
I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bit salty and a little bit because the whole night was that, and like even Tad backed off because he's like, dude, you are just the target from start to finish in every single game. I'm like, I know. Like there's some most games I was out first, and so I was just like, fuck it, Lowry. Your second attack, you're doing that. I'm taking it. You're like, oh damn it. I was hoping to be alive because then weren't you at 12 at that point?
I died right then, yeah.
Because
he was got me real quick.
Instead of killing me, I was dead. So then he's like, "Well, I gotta kill the Smith," and so he killed you. And I was like, "That wasn't my plan," but I was like, "That was actually pretty nice." I feel good.
Well, because in that instance, if you weren't alive, I was dead. You know what I mean? I wasn't able to kill Tad. I wasn't able to go after player 4. Like it was only kind of you or just waste my board and die anyway. So the hope was to damage you, keep you alive, and hope you could do something, or he might not have attacked you. It could have still been me because I was within gun, like shot, 2 attack phases, stuff like that. Like that stuff scares people. And so you wanting to die is fine too. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, it was fun. I will say I didn't pick up my only wins came the last 2 of the night. Like that was just like fuck. And I talked to you about that after too. I was like, I think my will deck has turned into my new Eureka deck.
Yeah.
That thing just went crazy. Well, it didn't go
crazy. I think I only had 1 win. It was my first one. So, and it was annoying. I don't even like that win. So
I thought you had more than that, didn't you? Oh, I wasn't in that game. That was with Trombley and everything like that.
Yeah. What I ended up doing was I had Bolus's Citadel and Sensei's top, but then I was just extorting every time I would cast something off the top until I ran out. And so it wasn't like infinite, but it was inevitable if I came around to me. And so it was annoying, time consuming, and like, Anderson was like, yeah, do it if you can. And, I was just like, okay. And then I should have just not listened to him. I should have been like, no, we're fine. Let's keep on playing. Like I didn't like it one bit.
But you got your win there. I thought I was in a game with you that you won. Weren't you in more than one? Did you win more than one?
Well, you annihilated me with Riku.
Yeah, that was funny because it was me and you, Tad and Mr. Anderson. And it was basically a 1v1 game for each because it was me and you just going at
side
each
by
other.
Side.
And those 2 just going at each other. It was, it was pretty funny. Yeah, but
then Genku I played once, and you were there, and didn't do anything. And then I played Gonti twice, and that did not work. Energy didn't win. That was the one that you spite played.
You mean let you kill me? Hey, you got to kill. You got to kill there, dude.
Yeah, I got kills. Yeah, for sure. But I think I just took 1 game. So, and that's not bad. I'm not mad.
No, I was at that point was just like, fuck, this is the night. This is what this day is. They were still fun games, but I was just frustrated at that point. And being in a game with you and me at the same time is not fun. Like I always say, like I hate that we have the slogan, the kill the Smiths thing, but I really hate it because you follow it too. And then I feel like I have to crack back because then I get butthurt, not butthurt. It's more, I'm like, motherfucker, this dude's coming at me all the time. But yeah, no, I will say the one that I did get the win, the Will one, that was an interesting one, how it kind of ended though. Cause Tad was going off with his energy stuff that was going crazy. And he basically had almost unlimited attacks, but because I had what's her nuts, the gaining Soul Warden out every time a creature was coming in, I was gaining a life. He made 14 creatures or whatever, and then I was able to play which one was that? It is
Grand Crescendo.
Yeah, so then I got a bunch of 1/1s. And I tapped the life. So they were coming in. I got 28 of them. They all got 28 1/1 counters because I had the Archangel of Thune out, right? Is that the right Archangel?
Yep.
So it was just like, it was a fucking crazy game. It was like, all right, that was fun. Like, Will just does that. You've said that many times where it's like, Will looks like you're about to die. And then out of fucking nowhere, it's like X times 30.
But even Ramsey had a really good shot because he had his creatures had vigor.
Yeah.
So they were getting 1/1 counters on it. He just didn't have enough blockers.
Mm-hmm.
That was his whole thing. So, but I mean, I died pretty quick.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. And then I did get a win with Hackball, so that was kind of fun. With Hackball does pretty well. Yeah. My average on that one's pretty good. But yeah, overall that was fun. We got our in real life games in. Got some new players, not new players, but new, like Tad hasn't played with us besides at SmithCon. Yeah. And then Mr. Anderson was supposed to come to SmithCon, but they had a puppy issue or dog stuff that was going on. So he didn't come. So that was kind of nice to get to meet him and everything because he had planned to come, a month earlier. So, but yeah, that's all I have.
Ramsey brought his wife.
Oh, that yeah, Ramsey. Too. Yeah, she was learning, but she knew she did the best actually of the night. She knew the concept of everything of stuff. I mean, we helped her out, but
it was just about learning cards and stuff like that. But she knew how to play.
Yeah, she knew how to play. So yeah, she I think pulled off 4 or 5 wins over the at night or throughout the day. We played for 12 hours or 11 and a half hours, so basically 12. It was good. Oh, good for you. That's kind of how we do it because we only play. It used to be like once a month, but now with family, kids, and all that stuff, it's like once every 2 months, 3 months. And so when we play, it's like 12 to whatever hours, or it's guys' weekend where it's multiple days worth. We just kind of get it all in one fell swoop there. So, is there anything else you wanted to? I know we normally do this talk after, but do you want to just jump into the stuff?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, she did win the most games. Tad was saying, she won 4 to 5 of the games. It was kind of crazy. So, the one thing I did want to mention, I'm gonna pull this up quick. I'm gonna show. So I did do a poll, and I'm actually gonna throw a poll up after this for what we talk about here. But I did the commander decks that people are most excited for. The precons and everything, and no surprise really, it was Squirrels kind of ran away with it with 38%.
Yeah,
but the animated army and Family Matters were neck and neck there, 24 and 23, and then Peace Offering was last. What was Peace Offerings again? That was like the group hug one, right? That you had.
Yeah. I am surprised that animated army is so high.
I mean, it's some different synergies you could do with that, like we talked about.
I mean, but I think you said it best. Like, it doesn't really have a lot of the cards that already can support that thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like a weirdly put together deck.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the deck, like the commander is cool, but the deck needs some work. Yeah, Tad's pointing out something where that hackball
deck has 2 Farseeks.
So I did want to say that.
And then 3 visits and
so that
everything on top. Nature's Lore on top.
Yeah, the start of that game, I felt like you. Like, my first 3 turns were just ramp. So much ramp that I realized I had 2 Farseeks in that stupid deck. One was a Doctor Who art, and one was a different one. So I think that's why I didn't catch it when I was putting the deck, all the stuff together. So, and I've been playing with that one for 9-10 months at this point, I think. So I think I've been cheating that long.
Could be there.
But I was like, holy shit, look at this, guys. And then I played Farseek, and I was like, oh shit. You guys like, oh, and I was like, well, guess what? I have another 2 drop ramp in my hand. So, and then it's just crazy to have like turn 3, you have like 6 to 7 land on. I was like, God, this is why Lowry likes this. Cause I mean, I could do anything at that point. Yeah, it was pretty nice. So, all right, we're away from this stuff. Let's get over to, well, I don't even know if we need to go with card preview stuff. So let's just jump back over to our main stuff. So what are we actually talking about here? We're talking about cracking packs. We're talking about singles. What's the best way, or trading cards, or buy
hot
list?
Singles in your area, in my opinion.
That's the
I don't know. How do we want to structure this conversation?
I don't know. Just wing it like we normally
I thought
do.
we winging it. All right.
Yeah. Well,
Blind
I will
packs is
say
stupid. Don't do it.
this is an episode. We did this 190 episode 190, so it's been almost 3 years. I don't. At that point, they didn't have serialized stuff, so I think that's another little thing that we have mixed in at this point.
Right. So how about this? Why would you buy packs? And there are different versions of buying packs. So let's say, you know, you have all the different types of boxes. You have collectors. Now it's just play boosters, which they've been switching the pack buying scheme quite a bit as well. But so you got collectors, play boosters. You got your bundles. You got your random loose packs at whatever store you want to buy at. Is there anything else that I'm missing there in that regard to like buying packs in that way?
I don't know if we could add secret layers in there because I don't think that fits in.
I think that's because that's buying singles in my opinion.
Yep.
But so what do you like the best out of that?
Okay, so I will say this for people that are newer players, and we like to say this a lot with things about like this idea. If you don't have the inventory of stuff or you don't have a lot of the cards, packs are a great way to get your collection bigger, I guess. If you're not shooting for particular cards or expensive cards, if you're just looking to get it so when you're building your decks, you have options and all that stuff, that's a great way to just buy the cheapest packs. You know, I think this is a big good for you moment, but at this point where we are and how long we've been doing this, we have really shifted from what we used to do. We used to always get boxes and always we didn't do battle boxes, but we'd always crack packs and stuff. That was for
but it'd be like midnight release on a Thursday night, go and pick it up at the source in Roseville. And then we'd stay up until 2-3 in the morning, you know, look like, I remember the high of opening Jace the Mind Sculptor and like Phyrexian Obliterator foil. Like it's real fun cracking some the big ones.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so in that regard, like and also I have very fond memories of cracking boxes. Like that was fun to do it with you know, at midnight or whenever we could do it.
Yeah.
Doing it with people, in my opinion, is more like fun.
That was a lot of fun.
So like that's doing, oh, look what I got. I'm just gonna fucking shit.
You got so excited you knock your camera over.
I just So but like that I do, like there's really good memories. And like I said, pulling those big cards is huge.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of fun.
So getting that out of the way, like for us personally, I think it's more work now to get those cheaper boxes. Like when we do battle boxes, that's why we stopped doing the standard sets, because a lot of times we had a lot of the cards or it was more work to like, it feels like more work because there's a lot of stuff that I don't want that's in that you open. Obviously you're opening packs.
Yeah.
And if it's just the basic level, even the most expensive card is not going to be that much, especially in standard. You know, right now, the most expensive basic version of the card is the 3 tree whatever, and that's like $25.
3 tree city, yeah.
Yeah, it's $25. Everything else, it drops dramatically as you go down. So the value just isn't there anymore, especially because of the addition.
And so essentially you're talking about like play boosters at this point.
Mm-hmm. So for me, I don't like regular boxes at this point, unless they're special sets. Like when we did Modern Horizons 3, that's different. And that's why they're more expensive, because there's a lot more value in those regular boosters. So it's changed for me because it's like, one, it's a time thing. It's like I'm cracking all these packs and you can't see it on my table, but there's a sword. Oh, you're doing good for you.
Sorry. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. There's like right where my hand is, right here is the sorting things that I have for all the cards that you gave
sorting
me.
Hat?
Yeah. Harry Potter sorting hat right here. Now the Harry Potter stuff's up there. But all that stuff you gave me is up here, and then Sydney got me a sorting thing there, all full of the last few sets opening of things that I need to sort to go put in binders or in the whatever. And they just get bigger and bigger because it's just like, it's daunting. You know, it's like you open all this stuff and I'm like, all this is garbage. You can't do anything with it. It either has to go in a deck or it's bulk. And so I think bulk is a big thing for me right now. Is I'd much rather open collector boosters. So that's the thing that's changed for me, is I'd rather open collector boosters, but even in collector boosters, there's a shit ton of bulk in there, you know? So it's like, but they're foil bulk for the most part.
Yep.
So for me, play boosters, it's a little tougher. I don't like cracking the packs. The value, even the chance of value is not there. That you have to either be wanting to do drafts or you're a newer player and you want to get more to your collection. I think it's more shifted for me as like, if I'm going to buy stuff, I'd rather buy the collector boosters because there is that chance for a serialized card. There's a chance for a raised foil. There's a chance for the big dollar stuff in those. I don't know. Okay, so I ranted a lot. What are your thoughts with all that?
Did great. I mean, I am going to say that I'm almost the exact opposite.
No, that's fine.
So like when it comes to just going through, so collectors boosters, I have no interest in standard sets because those cards, there's generally going to be like 8 good cards out of a standard set. It doesn't matter what type it is, because like one thing that I try and really limit I want this special version of it, because it gets to be really expensive to think like that.
Yeah.
And I already have that like that it's kind of filled with secret layers. And so like whatever itch I have, secret layer scratches that itch. And so when it comes to buying, if I'm buying cards and when it comes to collectors, I'm not interested because that price point just ain't there for me.
Right.
And when I do it, like what we're saying, when it comes to like Modern Horizons or Double Masters or whatever, those sets have a lot of reprints. And like you're saying, I don't like having just a shit ton of reprints.
Right.
So if I want those, I want them in foil or a special printing of it. So that is why we've kind of done that with the battle boxes, is just, if we're going to buy those and they're more expensive, like get a special version of it. And that's cool. And that's big time. And that's fun. But in the same hand, like on a standard set, I'm cool buying a play box or just a regular box because I want a plethora of the cards from the set. Doesn't matter if I'm going to use them or not, or if I'm considering them bulk or not. Generally, a box isn't going to get me more than 3 of a certain common or uncommon. And so I keep those. I don't have to sort them out. And my sorting method is a lot easier and simpler than yours. So they don't just sit around. So that doesn't become as cumbersome for me.
Well, I will say that like mine go all in binders. So like, so that's what I'm saying. That's where why it waits until, 3 to 6 months after I've opened a bunch of stuff that's gathered enough. Then I'm like, okay, let's spend a week and get all this sorted, is because it goes in all these different color sorted binders. And so then I'm like, ugh.
And I feel like we could go off on a tangent on how and why we do our sorting, but like, I'm not trying to get into that. So, basically that's kind of how it is for boxes for me when it comes to like, I'm cool buying a standard regular box because I get a plethora of the cards. And then if I ever need to go back and get a card, I can just get it instead of having to wait and order it. Like, is it even worth ordering a 25-cent card? I got to put it in with a bigger thing.
That's when right now,
like when I'm building a deck, I don't buy cards because I just have everything that I'm going to work with at this point.
Oh, good for you.
And so that in itself, like, they're kind of flip-flops. So if it's a high-end special set that there's going to be a lot of good cards and reprints in, I want a collector's box of that if we're doing a box. And if it's a regular standard set, I'd be willing to do regular boxes. But the thing I don't like is just single, regular, random ass packs.
Yes.
I don't like it.
Okay. So that was another point I'd get to in a second, but I do want to piggyback on what you're saying with the what you said there with the getting the cards and everything. You like being able to have it. So that is a different way of building too, because for our videos, you do it in hand. So you have it there. I start on Moxfield and build the deck. Once the deck is done, then I order the cards that I don't have. And so for me, I don't care as much of having the bulk, because the thing is then at that point, it's easier almost for me to go, all right, these are the cards I don't have. I'll look through my binders, can't find them, don't have these cards because I didn't buy that set or whatever. Now I'm going to buy the best version of that card. Even if it's a 25-cent card, best version's $1. It's worth it to me to kind of pimp out that a little bit. I'm like, okay, I'm getting this, because a lot of the stuff is, it's either I'm going to proxy it if I have, if it's expensive stuff like the staples or used cards. But if it's not, I'm already ordering a bunch of cards at once. So, but it's a very different way. You have to do it that way because that's the way we purposely do that, because Larry does the video of having the cards in hand. And we have not switched that because that is how we have built, and we want to show the different ways of building. And so that is,
well, and it's definitely how we prefer the building. Like, I'm not doing it because I'm bad at computers.
No.
Which is also true, but
that's not why.
I just prefer to have the cards in hand.
Right. I
like physical media a lot more than digital media. Like, it's just how it is. And so,
and for me, it's the online building on Moxfield is, I need the visually to see what I'm doing, because even before Moxfield, I know I've mentioned this many times before, mine was written out on paper. Mine never was the way that, partially was the way Lowry did it, until I would always, get all these cards out of binders, and then half of them are going back in the binder. So I'm like, that's even more work. So then what I started doing was writing everything down, putting them in categories. But the problem is, if I didn't remember what that card did, I'd always have to look it up. So Moxfield has been a blessing for me, because I'm able to just be like, okay, these cards, I can see them all and all that stuff, So this is, it fits both of our styles, which is pretty nice there. What did you say at the end of that? You were going to, packs.
Single random mass packs.
The worst
unless you're Tad.
Right.
I'm not into it.
Right. That was one of the big points I was going to say, especially with collector boosters. If you're trying to get the money or trying to hit the big guys, single packs or even buying 2 or 3 packs is awful. And I can contest to this. I was wanting to just, open something, when we were dealing with Grandma passing away and stuff, and I was driving, I was like, okay, I just want to open some Modern Horizons 3. I haven't opened it since we did our box, but I want to open a collector box or packs. I bought their only 3 they had at the store, spent $130 and got $20 or $30 worth of value. It was just, but the thing is if you buy a box, that's what happens in a box. You have, 60-70% of the box is garbage, and then you hit the one pack that pays for the whole thing. And so if you're buying single packs, if that's just a lotto ticket, it's a scratch off. If you like that, that's totally fine. But I would highly suggest that you're buying, I know it's really expensive, but buying in bigger bunches, because you're a better chance of hitting your money if you just try to get it with one. Unless you're Red Shine, you hit a fucking whatever, Jeweled Lotus off of a Walmart pack. Whatever.
Always.
Yeah.
No, and honestly, I do buy random single packs, and it's more of when I walk into a store, I don't want to spend nothing. And so if I go in and there's just $3 worth of singles that I'm going to buy, I'll buy a pack.
They meant just any store. I'm in Target. No. I better buy a pack because I don't want to not
buy
anything.
No. Yeah, more card stores and stuff like that. But just if I go to a new store and there's only I'm spending $1 or $2, I'm like, I'll buy a pack. And it almost 90% of the time it doesn't work every time. It just is never good. And I understand that's my luck. The last time I bought a random collector's pack was Midnight Hunt. And I spent $20-$25 for that. And I literally couldn't break $2.
Yeah.
It was garbage. Fucking yuck. It was, and so I just, when it comes to those random packs, I do it just to make sure that I'm spending a little bit of money at LGS's, but I almost never buy at Target or Walmart. Like, it's not like, it's when we used to do the happy birthday, your kid turned another age, like here's a pack. That's when I would do it, just because it's
That's
the
when I
only
get
place.
yours. Yeah. That's the only place I can get mine. Like Monticello, I mean, that's where number 2 goes to play, but that's nowhere near my area of where I'm driving typically. So my LGS basically is Target. So I will say the Walmart near my house I didn't get a foil Jeweled Lotus, but when Commander Legends came out, I did get a full art Jeweled Lotus. Yes, you can hit the button.
Good for you.
Off I think it was the second pack I opened from just a random packs from that. So you can get shit there. But yeah, I agree with
it's so swingy, and that's always been my problem. One thing that I try and avoid personally is like, I feel, and this goes to gambling too, like I feel the lows a lot more than the highs, and there's a lot more lows than highs. So even if I pull that Jace the Mind Sculptor at the end of, out of a box, I remember 25 of those 32 packs and just going trash. I fucking hated it. Like, I just, and that is my personality. Like, I don't like that. And so I try and avoid like what really ends up being a low for me, even if it's something, unless something incredible happens. Generally it's kind of an equal buy anyway. Like when we're doing the boxes on battle boxes, like even though we have better value at the end, if we had counted up like a month later, at best it'd be even with whatever we spent.
At best, yes, for sure.
At best,
because we had always
standard sets
early on when we first were doing that, where we record it, and then that was before we went live with stuff, and do that in your basement. Then we'd add up the value. A lot of times we were like breaking even or just over even, but that was opening weekend. Those prices tanked from that point forward. And Wrench, I will agree with what he's saying here. If you're going to crack packs, get a box over random packs. If you buy a whole bunch of randoms that equal a box, I guess technically it does equal it, but I think there's I don't know. It just feels like there's a less of a chance that you're going to get something good. I don't know. I mean, it's so random.
I think in a long-winded answer, that's what we were saying is buy a box, don't buy random packs. If you're buying packs, I think we've kind of thoroughly gone over packs.
Let me see if there's anything else on my list. I will say, buying packs, it's better than buying singles in that it's better for streaming wise. I know a lot of people stream TikTok, whatever. It's not as sexy to get our buy list stuff or our whatever mail day stuff and open that up because you know what it is and it's not like a surprise or whatever. But it can also be very terrible if you have my luck and I open up a box. I guess you can use that both ways. It's just, this is the worst box of all time. And you open it up on stream and it's just hot garbage. So I guess it can go back and forth with that. But yeah,
I guess asking you more for this, but do the serial as cards and all those other special, like the raised foils that they're doing now, and does that drive you into buying more packs, which is what they're being designed for anyway? Is
that temptation of those being there for sure? Yeah.
Do they? Because again, that's something that like I have no desire for. And so like
Secret Layers tainted
and
me.
I think that works for a lot of
Secret Layers really tainted me because now pre-Secret Layers, I wanted the basic version of every card. You know, Sensei's top. I just wanted the cheapest version. I sold all the most expensive most expensive versions of it. Since Secret Layer, it's changed the way because now, and I get we've talked about this a lot too, is proxying stuff. So proxying, I want to get the best version of the card. So then it's the most expensive. I only own one, and now I'm proxying it because I own it or whatever. So the special most expensive versions, now I go for those more than just the basic. Because how often do you proxy? I mean, you proxy the big guy, like the normal staples, but you're still playing with expensive cards, right? Or like if you open up a $30 card, would you play with it even if we don't have a proxy made yet? Would you make one personally, just print it off Google?
No, if you haven't made it, I just play with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
At this point, yeah.
And I won't. I will typically just, if I haven't made the proxy yet, I'll just Google image or Scryfall image, put it on there. That's what I did this weekend with the Eldrazi deck. So I don't know what my point was there. It was just more of that.
It drives your desire to buy packs for those higher priced cards.
Yes, but
even
I think
so,
that has died for me, and like I think this is what we're about to get into here is the singles in almost every aspect, unless you're trying to get serialized stuff or the absolute top of the line, the raised foils, all that stuff. And I'm not saying I'm going for those. So let me be clear with that. The possibility of those being in there is the drive to be like, I lean more of the collector booster, because also you're getting the full art foils, you're getting all this stuff, you're getting the special versions of everything. But really what it is I don't want those. I don't know. I don't want to buy packs anymore. Like it's all singles because you're going to get it. Even the thing I'm worried about with this MH3 stuff, which is just like a side note, is I don't know how much is actually out there. So I've been waiting for these fetches to drop and they haven't been dropping. I want these retro foil and they're staying higher than MH2. So part of me
it's only been a month.
I know.
They just printed so much in between.
I'm impatient because they still have MH2 out there. But yeah, I don't know. Pack wise, yes. I don't. There's a lot of things that are working against me wanting to actually go for packs at this point. And I think maybe if I didn't have Secret Lair to be going in and all the time,
I think it does change the game a bit.
Yeah. Secret Lair is like where my money goes to. And then it's like, if you think about it though, like really what should be important when you're playing Commander or Magic in general is your decks. And so decks in your collection, obviously, like collecting stuff. So my collection now is I like collecting the Secret Lairs and I am making good money off of it and all that. So I don't need to spend money on these standard sets and all this stuff that comes out because I'll just buy the things that I'm missing for my decks when I build them. So it's like I don't need to get the FOMO from the new sets as much. That's something that I have to keep down, kind of like you're saying, to not scratch that itch. That's what's happening with me. Like Discord, just posting all the stuff. I'm like, God damn it, I just want to buy that. I hold that down because I put my money into something I know I'm making money back off of and collecting at the same time. And then when I build a deck like Aslask or whatever, I buy then that's where I'll splurge a little bit, but I don't build as many decks as you do. I'm 1/4, a quarter of the amount of decks that you build pretty much, I think at this point.
I think that was the math last year.
Yeah, it was calculated. Yeah. So I don't need to, when I spend money on my decks, it's one every couple months. So it's not that bad. Right. And so then I splurge get the stuff I get. A lot of times I already have it because it's, you still have your staples. You still have your cards that are your toolbox stuff. So, what about like, are you feeling FOMO when you see everybody open up packs and all that stuff?
Yeah.
So are you just
because here's the thing is like generally like my system is that what we want to get into is just like how or do we want to go into like essentially what it is I go to whatever stores that I want to go to and I get cards that I think are fairly priced at this point, like because release is the prices tend to be a bit higher. You might be able to get on a card that hasn't been appreciated yet. And other times, like most of the time, things are going to go down a little bit too. Like I don't need to go out and buy 3 City Tree right now. Like a 3 Tree City. Like I'll wait a little bit. I think it's appropriately priced around $20. I'm going to hope for 15. hope it doesn't go up. Like, it's a really, really good card, right? But in the long run, I'm not going to spend my money on it. I'll pick up the cards that are like $3 and less. And generally they have like bulk boxes, and I'll dig through and find foils that of the bulk that's a lot cheaper. So thusly, like, they're cards that I'm interested in. Sometimes you don't get the like commons and uncommons that are over $1 that way, but also you can pick up like one, because generally at this point I'm not playing more than 2 of a card in any deck, so I don't need to buy a bunch of different like $5 uncommons. Like, I could buy 2, but if I just get one and then see where it works, then oftentimes it goes down, not always. And so, but this week I spent like $70, and I got all the singles that I really wanted at this point. And I know that I believe,
good for you.
but which is dramatically cheaper than a box,
Right.
right? We're talking about $30 to $40 cheaper. And then I went through and I made like a list of probably about the more expensive cards that I didn't get. And there was about 12 of them. I think half of them will probably drop in half in price. And then the other half will stay, or I won't care about it. Like, I don't need them either.
Right.
I like to collect them so that I have them when they're ready. But also, like, if they get out of hand, I can just go, I'll either build around it or wait until it rotates, which has gotten a little harder now too. But like, these are all coming into play. And for me, like, how I buy cards, it's a little bit like, it's why packs are so inefficient. Like, I go, oh, I really want this card. It's $3. I don't need to buy packs for a $3 card, right? Like, that's silly. And so that's that part of like, the expensive cards are what drive you to buy packs potentially. Sometimes it's just fun to pack packs. I get that. I get that. I just try and avoid that itch because it is a waste of money, right? And so, like, for me, I spent $70. I also go like, well, that is X amount of hours worked, right? And then I go, generally, if I'm buying a box, like, I'm going like, this isn't going to be worth X amount of time that I'm putting in. But the singles, everything I chose specifically because I'm interested in it, or it's something that's good, or I'm going to use it, and I don't get any of those lows. That's the big thing, is just like, I feel good about my purchase. I know that this is going to be worth my time because part of my enjoyment time is Magic cards and stuff like that. Obviously, everybody that's listening to that is in that same realm, right? And so if I'm spending my money on what I know that I want, I'm going to be a lot happier.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where singles are 100%. I am so happy doing that. And then when it comes to those more expensive cards, I wait, but I also do trading. And that's the big thing for me too. Very similar to singles, but it allows me to leverage some of the cards that I've noticed that go up, and then you trade them away, and then you can get newer cards that are a bit more expensive than you can get the foils or whatever. You can ask for it. And that's where Card Sphere has been fantastic for me. I still love it. And that's the route I go, is I buy cheaper cards and I trade for the more expensive ones. And then if it's not working out and I really want a card, then I do the CK credit.
Yeah.
And CK tends to be more expensive. The exchange rate just isn't as good, but I still use up my credit there quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the route that I go.
And actually, I would say a lot of the time, or not a lot, what I've been doing lately is CK's sealed stuff is pretty close to what TCG is sometimes, not all the time, obviously. And so sometimes I will buy list stuff, and then if it's like, well, like the Lord of the Rings set, that I didn't spend $1 from my actual bank account. It was all CK credit that I sent in, knowing that I was going to get it. Like, I was already saving it up and all that. But yeah, to piggyback on what you're saying there too, is that with like I know you get all the singles and like ready for the other decks. The hard part is like when I'm building this deck, sometimes I have trouble finding the damn card, and it's almost easier for me to just order it, the one that I want, instead of just storing it in all these boxes. I mean, I have a pretty good system where I can find it. I should say that it took me a year to get it to where I want it, and so it's good. But then that's why it takes me a long time to sort everything again, because the system's decent. But I've noticed lately I've been going through, and I'm going to use Soul Ring as an example, but it's not really Soul Ring that I'm trying to say here. It's any card that you have a lot of. A card that you play in a lot of decks. A lot of times you're like, well, this can go in any deck, I'm going to keep this. You don't need 15 of that card. You're going to play it in a lot of decks, but you're not going to play it in 15 decks. You're going to play different colors. It might not matter. Soul Ring, of course, will.
Right.
But you don't. I had like 100 Soul Rings, so I dumped like all but 20 of them or something like that, because every single commander deck has a Soul Ring in it. So it's just like, why?
Or has the potential at least.
Right. And so it's just like, I've been trying to get rid of a lot of that stuff, that bulk stuff. And that's why the buying the pack stuff has really backed off a lot for me, is that it's not enticing anymore. It's just more work than anything. And it's like, where am I going to put these cards that I'm never going to use? And so now it's shifted more to what's more important to me is toolbox stuff that I know I'm going to use, like Trouble in Pairs. I know that was going in all my decks that were white. I was like, except for 5-color decks. Win in every single one. So I went out and bought that one. Not that I was building the deck. Urza's for life. Hell yeah. Urza's for life, Tad.
Get out of here.
So like cards like that I know that are going to go in multiple decks, I will go out and buy those. But generally what it is at this point is it's when I'm building the decks, because my most important things is you play with the decks. It's not about the collection part. Yes, that's your toolbox stuff. You use those. But everything that's in these non-safe binders, I never look at these, besides when I'm building decks. So I don't know.
So essentially when
you're
you're buying, it's kind of just for decks at this
right.
point.
I mean,
and pre-cons. There are pre-cons when we're talking about
it. When we do pre-cons that have a lot of new cards, when we, Warhammer or Doctor Who, or what was the other one that we just had recently? The Assassin's Creed wasn't a new one, so we didn't buy those. But anyway, the MH3 had a bunch of new stuff. So we got all those. Yes. But we used to buy every single pre-con that came out. But that's because pre-cons would only come out once a year.
Once a year.
It was like 5 to 6 decks once a year, and that was it. And now they're every single set, and they're decent, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, but it gets to be a lot. And so then, but the thing is 95% of the cards in there are stuff I already have. And so it's like, oh, fuck. Okay.
Right.
Now
that's the reprint thing that we're talking about. So, I mean, are we basically done? Should we wrap it up a little bit? Like saying things to consider and how you want to buy are, obviously money restraints. I think there are, however you organize your collection is important on what you want to be doing.
Your time
Adam
matters. Your time matters.
Your time and your money matter.
Yeah. Time
right?
and sorry, financially singles are better. Your time, wasting time on, like, if that's the thing that you get a kick out of is opening packs, which you probably do. Like, I mean, it's really fun to open, and if you hit something big, but for me, time wise, I don't like it anymore. Opening just packs. I want to get what I want. Like you're saying, get the stuff that you actually want and get rid of the garbage, the bulk stuff. Keep going with your points. Anything else?
I think that, I mean, really it's time and money, and like understand that Magic is already a really time consuming and expensive hobby. And so, I don't want to be sorting forever and ever. Amen. I want it to be efficient and quick, like you're saying. And so I'm going to get the cards that I want, and I'm not going to have a ton of stuff though where I don't know what to do with. I don't want it building up for 6 months. I don't want to worry about if I can get this card or that card. I want to be efficient with what I'm doing. And so, obviously do what's best for you. Like hockey buys a collector's box and that's much more efficient too, right? Than a play booster box.
Right.
And that's going to work for him. And so if that's what he's happy with, that make sure that you're happy about it. Right. I think that was one thing that I was kind of harping on is for me, I kind of do what's happy, like makes me happier and feeling better. And that's my big thing is it's going to be different for everybody. Right.
I will add that if money wasn't a factor, if it wasn't like trying to, make profits with stuff with the secret layer stuff, I would love I like opening collector boosters. Like I like opening collector booster boxes, but those are expensive as shit. So for me, logically of what I'm trying to do here and, save money, buy stuff, whatever, it doesn't make sense for me to buy it. We do it because of streaming wise. And I would say that's another thing. If you're a streamer, you're probably not listening to us right now. But if you are streaming, and I know we have a couple patrons that do, people on Discord and stuff that do some streaming and all that. Opening is obviously a lot better. I mentioned that earlier, but I mean, if money was not an issue, if it didn't matter, fucking open collector boosters all the time. I wouldn't do play boosters. I don't like that. That has completely died for me. And that's what shifted from when we first started this podcast.
You're essentially saying if you're Cassius Marsh, just crack packs.
Right. Exactly. Just because that'd be awesome. I love opening packs. It's fun when you hit the big ones. It's like you said, it's gambling. There's a lot of downs. There's a lot of ups, but
if money doesn't matter, packs are the best, right?
Oh, got a new subscriber. Thank you for subscribing. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's to each their own, whatever makes you happy. And it's just different points of your life and all that stuff and how they shift things. Cause like I just mentioned, when we first started doing battle boxes, those were they even called draft boosters then? It was just boosters.
No, they were draft.
They were draft.
It was initially draft boosters.
But they didn't
and
have
then they
collectors
changed.
then.
No.
Yeah.
Or set boosters.
Right.
No, they don't have set boosters anymore.
Yeah. So it was just, that's what you opened. And every box had 4 foil cards you could get in. Remember the drop rates of foil were so low. One of those might be a rare in a box.
Older boxes? No. So you always got, and that's before, when it came to mythics, you had basically one mythic rare or one mythic
that's right, yeah.
foil per box.
Per box, yeah.
And then the rares, you had 2 to 4 of them. And then you had 6 uncommons. It was less than that. You wouldn't walk away with more than 15 foils in a box.
Yeah. And then
it'd be 10 foils in a box, basically.
Yeah. Man, remember that? It'd just be every foil's oh shit. Okay, it's uncommon, but still it's foil. It's gonna be worth a lot. All right. So yeah, we want to hear what you guys have to say or what you guys prefer. Do you prefer cracking packs? Do you prefer buying singles? What are the reasons why? Just throw that in the comments below. I'd like to hear what everybody else, how they like to do it.
There's also going to be a poll, right?
Yep. And I will put up a poll.
Vote on.
Yep. And I'll probably, it's either going to be up tonight or tomorrow. Oh no, we're moving the podcast. That's right. We're on next week. So
yep.
Poll will be up later this week. I think we'll just do a couple really quick announcement stuff with our tags and everything. Cause I don't think we really need to, we kind of chatted beforehand. One thing, we did change our store location. So we don't have commandersmiths.com anymore. It just was costing too much to keep that open and all that stuff. So I will be tweaking this, but for the time being, you can go to eBay and my eBay account, which is Adam the Commander Smith. And I actually have it linked below on this video where you can click there. I'm going to make it so that you could actually just type in Commander Smith store and then all of our stuff will pop up so you can see the t-shirts, the mugs. Do you have your mug with you right now? That is the color we actually have for sale. The red Yetis. They'll be up. We'll have the t-shirts. All that stuff is going to be on eBay because it makes more sense financially, especially for our little podcast here. So that's we're shifting things to there. So at the moment that we don't have the store up, but when I get back from vacation, I think I'll have everything up. It is on eBay though, so it's still like the metal tokens and the mugs are on there. I haven't done anything with the shirts yet. So, but that is one way you can support our show. The other way is you guys can become a patron. $1 gets you into the Discord. That's all that you guys got to do. $1 gets into the Discord. If you want to get proxies, you can donate $5 a month. If you get up to $10, you get foil proxies like that. This little guy that's on the prizes for Stump the Smith Savant. So you get to pick those out. Other ways you can do it is, like we mentioned last week, the Malort induced spam is coming soon.
We're gonna put that. We will put it together next Friday.
Yeah, it's gonna be gross. So next Friday we will we'll do it live on. We won't be taking shots necessarily, or we won't be eating those then.
But we're gonna need to have it marinate a little bit.
We're gonna put it all together so you guys can see that. So that'll be something that starts up. That's supporting us and making us do shitty stuff. The other way you can support us is check us out on YouTube. Like our newest subscriber, I don't know how to say his first name. It was Artenis Stampede. Yeah, Artenis Stampede. So you can subscribe to YouTube. That helps us out. And every video, if you can watch the podcast, watch it there. That helps us out too. So that is all the tag stuff. Now we get to get into the games. Let's get over to this. And this. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. All right. If you guys don't know how this game works, I'm going to read the flavor text of a card, and Lowry's going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes, he'll hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no, he'll hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
He gets up to 5 wrong guesses before he's considered stumped. He gets up to 3 clues. If he can get everything about the card but can't get what the card name is, he will get the initials of the card. If he still has a clue left over, he'll get a bonus clue, which should help give it away. Like last week, needed that bonus clue to get through that. The card has to be in at least 10,000 EDH rec decks. Every 3 weeks, we add to the ante and the added bonus, which Tommy Olson is our stumper this week, who added this card in. When we get to level 3, you have Ragavan in this sweet art here. It's not foil, but sucker's over $30. So thank you so much, Tommy, for donating this. Thank you so much. But right now, we do have the first level, you get a foil proxy, which is the Gaia's Cradle in this case. Second level, which we are in because we are in week 5, is the Black Market Connections in the foil etched. So every 3 weeks, so if we get to Lara doesn't get stumped this week or next week, Ragavan will be in play. The way you enter, make sure you email me or us at commandersmiths@gmail.com or message me if you're a part of the Discord directly. All right, I think that's everything. Lowry, your record, you broke 100. 100 wins and 33 losses. So that's a pretty
USA. Nice.
So yeah, this is round 33, week 5. And also we added a timer to this. So he does have a 20 minutes to get this going. And here we go with the flavor text first. Shame will never see what all the fuss was about. The chat has been eliminated, so the chat can play along, and timer starts now. Shame will never see what all the fuss was about.
All right, so right off the bat, I feel like this is a counterspell of some type. Like it's stopping everybody from seeing what the fuss was about. So that makes me feel like it's probably blue of some type. Could be red with like a misdirection, but I don't think it's quite like that. It also has like a feel of an uncard, but that doesn't reach 10,000 in anything at this point. So also feels like a
Oktoberfest?
non-permanent spell. What?
I'm drinking an
That's what you're
Oktoberfest.
drinking.
Oktoberfest, Sam Adams.
So let's go with, is this a non-permanent spell?
Hello, boobies.
There we go. Does this card have blue color identity?
Hello, boobies.
Can I get a first clue, please?
The newer art that started in Iconic Masters features a man with glowing blue eyes. His hand is raised, and blue swirls are converging into his palm. Let me read that
please.
again. Yep. The newer art that started in Iconic Masters features a man with glowing blue eyes. His hand is raised, and blue swirls are converging into his palm.
What color are his eyes glowing?
Blue.
So blue and blue swirls on the hand. Bluey blue.
You're my boy, Blue.
You're my boy, Blue. And he dies. Okay, let's. There's so many damn counterspells, so like that'd be really tough. Can I hear that one more time?
The newer art that started in Iconic Masters features a man with glowing blue eyes. His hand is raised, and blue swirls are converging into his palm.
It could be like this, could be like that. It has blue color identity. It's either an instant or sorcery. All right, let's ask a question here. Is it an instant?
Hello, boobies.
Okay. So originally in Iconic Masters, the wording makes me assume that it has been reprinted at least one other time, and that was just the start. Obviously, Iconic Masters was a
It did.
reprint set completely.
Okay, I was gonna say it didn't start in Iconic. I just said
Yeah, but
this
art
started. Yep.
Yeah. And so, but that also means that when you're saying it like that, it feels like it has been reprinted with that art since then. And Iconic Masters was probably within the last 8 years, I want to say. Could be longer now.
When was Iconic?
It was
2017.
So
7?
yeah, 7 years.
That's crazy.
Let's see here. So we believe it's blue. We know that it's instant.
Seven.
We kind of know that it's blue. Probably with that color palette, it probably just is blue. Iconic Masters, did that have Force of Will?
We have no guesses at this point from chat. We have quite a few people on, but no guesses. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I'm just kidding.
Franchise electricity must be out as well. Now he's gonna guess, but okay, so I can't quite remember. There was some solid reprints in there. I don't think Force of Will was reprinted. I don't think Arcane Denial was. I'm just trying to think of the big ones.
15 minutes left.
Commandeer? No, I don't. I think that's just think that's Cold Snap and Now might have been on this, but second clue, please.
The text features an X cost, scrying, and potential spell disruption. The text features an X cost, scrying, and a potential spell disruption.
Repeat that one more time.
The text features an X cost, scrying, and a potential spell disruption.
Scrying and potential spell disruption? All right, so more than likely the X cost is what they have to like pay. So it's like a power sink, but with scrying. Holy moly, I don't remember that at all. Man, counterspells are so bad. I don't think it's just what are some funny ways that we can be talking about, like returning a spell to hand, which would be like potentially spell disruption, but that's fairly rare. You know, there's not a lot that just removes a spell from the stack to be considered like spell disruption. So it's more than likely countering a spell. Let's confirm that. So is there anywhere on the card that states that it's possible to counter a spell?
Hello, boobies.
So what the shit? Yeah, scrying, countering a spell. I you know, there's a lot in my head that draw a card, but scrying? Does it have like, okay, we know that it's scrying. I don't know if it's one or two.
Wrench,
I doubt
got
that
it.
it's more than two. Attaboy.
Good job, Wrench.
So it's X, it's a blue, and then the question is it another blue? So is it like blue X or blue X? I don't know that one either. I'm gonna end up taking a third clue, please.
This card is in 13,000 EDH Rectex. It was first printed in 5th Dawn, but didn't get the flavor text until Iconic Masters with that new art. And it's most seen in, what is it? Zakara, the exemplary, which is it's Zaxara, which is the...
Oh, Zazara?
Is that what it is? Zazara?
Yeah.
You didn't hit the button.
At least that's how I do it. Okay. Nope. That, Scry 2.
Hello, boobies.
Blue and X.
Hello, boobies.
And then it's counter target spell unless that player pays X.
Hello, boobies.
The initials are C. Just one initial. C. You have 0 wrong, so you have some...
I know, but
You don't have a bonus clue.
The problem that I'm having is I cannot picture the art that you gave me, but I have the art from 5th Dawn in my head.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little bit of like a Vidalkin weird, but
Yeah, you got it. You're in the right spot. But surprising.
C, that's it. So it's
Yeah,
one word.
Just C. Yeah. Surprising. Like I didn't realize 5th Dawn had scrying at that point. Like that seems.
It's what started it.
Oh, is it when it started? Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say.
Maybe Mirrodin, because like.
But that's why it
Magmajet
doesn't have
has scry.
That's why it doesn't have flavor text, because they're explaining what scry is what takes up the entire card.
Yeah. So scry started in that block. It probably started in Mirrodin, but
Under 10
let's
minutes.
toss this out there. Condescend.
Oh,
Hello, boobies.
I get it.
You got it, Ale. Get it.
There we go.
You didn't get anything wrong there. How the hell did you do that?
Oh man, that was not that. I had no idea what that art. That's what made it tough.
Yeah. So yeah, and then this is the art that you were. Oops, not that one. This one right there.
Yeah,
it's the same one, but yeah, that's the one that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
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 So,
no, that's a
good
good
job.
one. That's a old one.
Yeah.
But not. I mean, it's not really that bad if you want to just pay blue instant scry 2.
Scry 2.
Not bad at
Yeah.
all.
Exactly. Can you do that if you don't have a target for a spell? Counter target spell?
No, you're right.
Yeah,
you have to have something
that you're targeting.
Target.
Yeah, and then you scry. But still, it's
you
still
can still pay 0 when they cast something.
right. And then you're like, I'm gonna scry. It's totally
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, no, that's actually a decent card. All right, so Tommy, if you want, you can send this like your other one that you sent, and we can get that one on the board. You can sign sign this bad boy. You can sign 2 of them. I'll take one too. I like it too. I want cards too because look at Lowry has it on his board right there, right behind him.
Right there. Oh.
All right. So we still there it is right there, the little touchy right there. Make sure you guys send in, like I mentioned before, commandersmiths@gmail.com or direct message me. Because we're 2 away from getting the Ragavan on board. So just make sure you guys get your entries. This next week or next Friday is, I don't even know how to say that name, but it's Kyanescence. Can you read it? See that?
No.
Kai
Sesame?
Kai.
No, I can't even say it.
It'd be funny if it was like an iBook hockey thing where like iBook hockey. I don't get it. What kind sense? So CYANESSENCE. Whatever. Kid can't even read. You are the next.
You're right.
She can't even read.
You are the next stumper when we get back here, or when I get back from vacation and all that. So, yeah, congratulations to that. All right. So, yeah, make sure you send in those suggestions because Ragavan's getting close. If Lowry does not get stumped next time, Ragavan is in play. So, you want to get your name to be drawn next week. So, highly recommend you send stuff in now. All right, guys. That should do it for this week. We will catch you guys later next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
I love boobs, I'm talking tatas. I love boobs, I'm bonkers for honkers. I love boobs, thanks for the memories. I love boobs.
Boop, boop, boop. What the hell? Get my buttons ready. I can't do it. I can't hold it longer. Hey, gang, the best way to support the Commander Smiths is make sure you slap that like button. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel. Also, check out our online store, commandersmiths.com, where we have metal tokens, mugs, t-shirts, playmats, and more. Not commandersmiths.com.